I've always dreamed of like those like friendships like in movies and shows, and it's just like the girliest, which is never tied up to a gender. We could talk about that, but it's just always portrayed with like female energy or girls, and they just like meet and like they have like the coolest bedrooms ever, and they're like laying around and like they're practicing like self-care in their own ways, and it's just overall really beautiful and really cute. See, I've always like dreamt of that. I haven't had the opportunity yet to experience a friendship like that, filled with sleepovers in a girly way. I feel like, and me myself as well, so far I've learned always in a not tomboyish, but this like I don't know how to initiate it, and I guess that's on me. Because I was gonna say like, well, my friends don't lean that way, but I've also, with the friends that I currently have, I've never given them the opportunity to tell me if they like that kind of stuff or not. It's based on an assumption that I have based on all my life. Um, so note to self, talk with them. So, well, I've always dreamed of that. You know, maybe I can give it to myself too, I guess. And I also invite you to join me. I'm gonna do my nails. If you didn't guess, I'm gonna paint them black. And I'm watching a Christmas movie because I love Christmas movies. So I've always dreamed of that and dreamt of that. And like, there's this thing though that a lot of people are like, life isn't like the movies, and I know life isn't like the movies. It doesn't have to be that romanticized. It's not that perfect in a sense. But to me, I feel that it's still something that can be enjoyable in a sense. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know even if people like really do that. The whole sleepover, talk about crushes or talk about whatever really. Well, they do like each other's nails or they have like a fashion show of some kind of way, and they like eat popcorn and watch the cheesiest, corniest movies ever. I don't know if people do that. At least people haven't done that. But I mean, if I enjoy it on my own, if I enjoy doing my nails and putting on a face mask, although I don't have a face mask right now, and I enjoy like cheesy Christmas movies, and my grandma loves cheesy Christmas movies too, then other people might as well. And I mean, probably there's at least someone there, I guess. But there's that. How do you feel about this? Anything that you're like, I wish I could have experienced this more, or not. I wish I could experience this instead. Maybe there's people who have lived through the experiences that I want to live and they dreaded them. It's interesting to think about that though. I'm actually painting my nails black. Oh my god, I wanted to talk about that because like I was like setting up the camera and everything, and I cut my nails beforehand. And I was like thinking, I wanted to say something and I'm gonna say it. Is that I used to like have really long nails, and I'm talking like really long nails, and my nails still grow like so fast, girl. I gender neutral, by the way. Um, they grow so fast, and the thing is, like before, I was like okay with it, and I liked my long nails and stuff, and I wouldn't really paint them or like stuff. But when my mom got into like nail art, like go to a nail salon, I went with her a couple times and I got them done, and I really like them. The thing is, I started getting really into guitar, and guitar and long nails, they do not match. I mean, you can play them with long nails now. Do not expect the sound to sound at all. um, So now I cut them really regularly, to be honest. I tend to cut them when I'm gonna either play guitar or when I notice, oh, they're long. Let me cut them for when I play guitar. Now, nail color wise, now, now, I stole this. No, I don't care. The thing is, because since I was like starting to cut my nails and I started to like wear them really short so I could play guitar, you know, I would find myself like not painting them. Not why would I? They're gonna get cut, so I wouldn't. Or if I would like do like a small design or even a full color, so I could just cut them easily, you know. Because again, they grow really fast, and so they go fast. I tend to be cutting them a lot, so not a chance to really have like a beautiful design in a sense. And I was watching, I'm into really this group lately, which is Extraordinary Heroes. It's a K-pop, well, it's not a K-pop, it's a K-band, it's a Korean band. They do rock. Oh my god, I love them. And Junghan, the main like lead guitarist, paints his nails black, and I found out, oh, that's cool. And I started wearing them black. I really like black nails. The thing is that I started being Taki. I have a cat. Can you tell me what Taki Vasha? Can you tell me why my cat just like started trying to scratch the TV? And it's not new, sadly. I have another cat that does that, but not you. Baby, no, look at me. You're better than this. I know, do whatever you want. I'll give you my life, baby. Just do whatever you want. I'm weak, okay? For them. Junghan, like I saw him and like I started like being not self-conscious, but I was like, I don't like when they start chipping away. I like when they're like clean and Doggy. No, don't look at me like that. Don't look. No, Doggy. The audacity. Anyways, so like he was like, this is a whole mood. I like when they're chipped, and I'm like, you like. I like when they're chipped. Taki. We're stuck on the audacity of men. Yes, it was a cat, but he's still a man. To all my men's out there, sorry. No, don't come here. No, no. How dare you, baby? You don't get to do that. We'll show you this butt. I love you, baby. But don't do that again. Anyways, so now I like chip. Not this chip, which is cheap chip. Anyways, it's why I'm like gonna paint them again. Oh my god. So it was like this guy. Moving on. Oh my god, so I was gonna talk about something else, but I've been like really lately into like YouTube videos that are like completely like uncut in the sense like they just talk and channel and stuff like that. But I just realized that I do yap a lot, but I think I already failed all of them. But there's something about when I'm like recording that I tend to be like and start doing a lot of pauses. So who knows if I'm gonna edit or not, or I feel. Oh, it's true. I was thinking like between doing this and like reading poetry because I write poetry. And oh no, I'm doing my right hand is the dominant hand, so I tend to paint that one first. But I haven't, so I'll just finish this one because we are gonna try different things. Anyways, I was gonna read poetry because I read poetry. So then my brain, thank you ADG, I guess. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna paint. I have been wanting to paint my nails, like repaint them at least. So let's do that. So for the video, I have them painted, and then an idea, Taki. And then an idea was like, Wait, but what if you paint your nails while you're talking? Uh, Not reading poetry, though I could read you something. Do you like poetry? I love poetry. I love writing poetry, and I feel like clarifying because I like reading poetry by other people, but I tend to like write it more than read it. Like I swear to God, you're why? Why? What has that done? What has a TV done to you, Taki? What? Do you hate it? Do you want it changed? Do you want attention? I gave you treats. I gave you cuddles. I gave you food. And you're looking at me as if I insulted your whole entire family. I'm sorry. Damn. So, I mean, poetry. I like writing rather than reading poetry. There was this one book. Oh my god, I love Taki. This was this one book that was like there was like poems to Aphrodite, I believe. Wow, wow, wow. See, I would say that if I find the book or if I remember, I'll put the name for here and stuff. But I don't know if I'll remember. So Google poetry book Aphrodite. Poems to Aphrodite or something like that. I think it is Aphrodite. Really good book of poetry. I actually want to read more poetry, but I haven't. Oh my god, there's this one book I want to read. There was this. Okay, so like I like reading. I haven't read a lot, if you don't count fanfics this year, but I like reading. I enjoy a lot. I like the odds TM. So I was watching this YouTuber which I really like. I think his name is Jake something. I might be completely wrong and I'm sorry. And we're talking about this one book that I've actually written down, but I cannot grab my, what's it called, my notebook right now. And he was talking about how like people use metaphors for trauma. Taki, no! No! Behind the TV now! Taki, further! Taki! Anyways, and that moment was like, oh, I think I'm saying this because of the poetry thing I was talking about, which, if you have read something by me, first of all, are you well emotionally? Second of all, metaphors are my thing. One thing I find like really funny is how I write metaphors. I have a very specific taste in writing. Like, I tend to use a lot of metaphors with death adjacent, like very creepy stuff, very deathly, lots of blood and killing involved in the metaphors. Taki. And do you think if he throws that off the table that he will be happy and he will stop? Let's find out. No, wait, there's water under it. Not Taki. He's grounded. Anyways, you're grounded. Can you hear me? That's how much he. It's okay. We're gonna pursue this, babes. We're gonna pursue this, bestie. So, I was talking about metaphors and poetry, and now my camera's crooked. So welcome to the upside world, I guess. Yeah, my metaphors tend to be a lot of death involved and stuff, and I just realized with that video, like, I just know, but in that video I realized that, oh, wait, no, stop! I use metaphors also to dissect trauma! Wow! For me, what was the most funnier is, not funny, haha, but like funny as in like, wow, that's interesting, is that I use like metaphors that in my conscious brain I feel are a much worse trauma. Like for me, death, which can be beautiful, right? In a sense, like the metaphor of death and the metaphor like there's more to death than the physical body of death, like the death of the physical body. I tend to use like these things that some people and have told me they find like bizarre. Like, wow, who would thought to do that as a metaphor, as an analogy to something else. So I found it interesting how I dissect my trauma or my experiences, and I dissect them through things that, again, consciously I would consider way traumatic, like are way a lot, like also traumatic in a different sense, you know. So I found that really funny. Um, One day maybe I read poetry, like one of my poetries to you. Maybe once I finish painting my nails and I no longer need the concentration for it. Why is it hard? It's not hard, but why is it hard at the same time? I have so much appreciation of the people that can like do nail art on themselves. Like on other people is still amazing. It's still like wow. But like on yourself, especially like when you're are using like your non-dominant hand and you still are slaying. Wow. On such a tiny canvas with things that wow. Just wow. Wild. Wow. I'm like that. I do not. I can't. I do not. I don't want to say I cannot do nail art. For me, would be. I guess I could do a couple lines. Would they be straight? No, neither am I. You know, my nail art, I guess, to others, and I guess to self too, goes as far as I can do a different nail, a different color. Nail art! But it's really cute. Oh my god, no, because I'm bringing back like this to Junghan, right? And to like the whole thing I was talking about at the start. And wouldn't like be so cute like a like a date and you're painting each other's nails? Well, again, watching cheesy rom-coms. Have I told you that I like cheesy rom-coms? Have you felt that I like cheesy rom-coms? Because if you haven't, I'll just say it again. Now he's being cute. The audacity. Well, oh my god, last nail. I sometimes do two goats. Oh my god, that was awful. But I'm not lazy. But I don't feel like doing this one. I actually feel like writing to you some poetry. I think which one? Okay, so I've been into like the concept of a commonplace book. Hi, Taki. Of a commonplace book. Oh my god, oh wait, I have this one. Oh wait, no. It just I actually like was into like making zines, yeah, whatever, like tiny little booklets, a lot, and I have one which is with a red paper that is really beautiful. Now this is called How to Feel and Fail at It. It's probably backwards for you. And it's really funny though. I have a very good humor. It's empty. It's empty, and at the bottom of the last page it says, I don't know. If you find out, tell me how. Thanks, and then the end. How to feel and fail at it. I mean, I guess I told you. And fail at it. I actually wanted to write something there, and then I was like, they're like, how do I explain this in like 6 pages? Let me just make a joke out of it, and that's it. Like, I know how to feel. Hopefully, true. I mean, you know, but yeah. Oh my god! The other day I drew this. I know, I slayed. You don't have to tell me twice. Where is it? I have lots of poetry. This is not the place for poetry. I don't have a book of poetry, as in like a notebook that I write specifically poetry only. I have my nails painted. I usually close it with my thumb and I'm like, nails. I usually use like my phone or stuff, and it's just all scattered throughout. I have one here. I wrote this on November 12th, 2024. Oh my god, I was at the pond. So I was like at the park with my friend, And it was like the first time I was doing this, because like I wanted to connect more with nature or whatever when I wanted to ride in nature or read in nature. So I was gonna go to the park, and my friend asked me to hang out, and I was like, oh well, I was going to the park, but you can join me if you want. And she was like, oh well, yeah, but it's fine. I'm like, I was surprised. I did not expect that. Usually with my friend, with this specific friend, like we tend to spend all our time talking, unless like just spending quality time. You do your thing, I do my thing and stuff. But we went there, and she was like reading, and I was writing, and it was like really beautiful. It was cold as heck, but it was fun. So I wrote this. Now, safe to say, none of this is proofread. Life mirrors itself, really. The young picking up a book, writing down notes, crossing down numbers. The old talking with a friend, playing a card game, laughing at pastimes. Life mirrors itself, really. They both talk, they both show, they both feel, they both exist, they both live. Life mirrors a community, really. The love, the hug, the closeness, the distance. It mirrors the pain too. Thus, for each young soul saying goodbye to a friend, an old one waves goodbye to one within a case. So, in the park, I was there and I was writing, and I was like looking around, and once like on the benches that I was sitting, I could see like the public library, and I saw like again like two people, like they were like I guess studying or reading. I think they were studying because I remember like I think I remember them like writing or whatever and like on paper. I think they were studying. And then I like up front there's like this place where the old really like the grandmas and grandpas like go there, and like it's the community, and like they play together and stuff. And like I saw them, and there was like two people sitting on a table right in front of me and two people sitting on the library, and I was like, wow, it's fun and it's really interesting how again the mirror, how like wow, they're both so different, and there are four different people here being involved, and it's just stuff. And then I also thought, well, actually I didn't think about that. I was thinking about anything, but I'm thinking like how I also was mirroring that. I was there with my friend sitting next to each other, and we were both like again doing stuff. Again, first analogy of death, and yeah, I was just like sitting there for a moment, and how just I don't know, I was feeling it that way, and so I did it that way. There's more I have from that day, and I feel like sharing. So I also in that like park, there's this like how do you call it? It's not a it's by far it's not a lake. It's a fountain. There's not a fountain. Okay, so it's hard to explain. I think we call it a lake in Catalan at least, but it's like a small pond ish maybe. It has a fence around it. It has a really beautiful bridge that goes to a little bit more of the water, and then there's like a small waterfall. And by small waterfall, I mean it's not a natural waterfall. It's one that like I believe grabs the water from the pond and brings it upwards, and then it's like a small waterfall with plants. It's really beautiful. And there's like also like a fountain in the middle with rocks. It's really beautiful. And there's like a couple ducks. There's like some ducklings there. There's some turtles. There's fishes. It's really beautiful. And I saw like the two ducks, because there was like one big one and one small one. Maybe they're related, maybe not. Maybe they're just there. And I read a couple things, but I was thinking specifically of how I would feel if I was that duck. So that, because like at the end of the day, that duck, like these ducklings like are in a pond, which is in at least in my case in this park, it's like a defined space. They have fences around, and how I would feel in that small space. And I'm actually gonna read it, and then I'm gonna expand it more. So I wrote, how much could you do in a defined space, living within the need, acknowledging you could go out but accepting it as it is. Because the thing is like, and I've seen it multiple times, these dogs like go out, like they can just completely leave the pond. So far we haven't had any any dog going around town, but they can go out. It's really easy for them to actually just like boop, and they're okay. They can go around the park, and I've seen a couple times, and it got me thinking of like, how would it feel that? Would it feel limiting, or would it feel expanding, expansive? Like they have everything they need there, but do they seek more? Do they not want more? Do they not? Do they know more? In a sense. And then I wrote that maybe it's not about the size of the environment, but rather how loving, nurturing, and taking care of it is. Because I also brought back, like, it brought me back to a snake. It's an analogy that I've, like, heard a lot. It's like snakes, I don't know if all of them or some of them grow up as much as their environment allow them to. So if they're like in a small box, they're gonna grow as much as that box allows. If they're in a bigger box, they're gonna grow more. So, um, basically, what you allow yourself, how like the environment, and again, it brought me to this like the size of the environment for a snake. In this case, matters in the sense of growth, physical at least. But again, it brought me back to if I was there, maybe again, it's not about the size, it's not about everything you could do. Maybe it's just more about how nurturing, how loving that you have what you need there. Again, not the size, more of the how you feel within that space. And then it also brought me back to like these dogs at the end of the day, they were brought there, right? And specifically, no, they were not brought there, and maybe yes, but they were not brought there because of like for them. Like it's a space they can live in, and again, as far as I'm aware, they are getting taken care of, and it's not about environment for them. But the thing is, though, they were not there, and it like they did not be like they did not choose to go there in a sense, and it brought me to when you're born, you do not choose where you live, like where you are born to. And I wrote down like being brought to the world for showing up, like for showing, because I thought like ducks and fishes and how they are being brought to like parks and yeah, just mostly parks, and they're just being brought there. Yes, they're gonna get taken care of, and yes, it's still a beautiful place, and they probably do more than just that. But in this context, I brought like they're just there for our enjoyment, which is not really true, but it's just like for a decoration piece in a sense, like to be there, and it's like just showing. I wrote down after that, just as a duck or a fish on the in on the park, I don't know English, to be adored and admired while you live your life, because at the end of the day, they're just living their life. They're just a little duck, just a little fish going around the pond, living their life. And it's this whole thing, and also like it brought me back to this immersion of like maybe it can be that simple, in the sense if you're like these little dogs, and I admire them, I love them, I find them really cute, but it also it's just like generally they're being brought to a place just to be admired for who they are, for them just existing, just living. And I find it beautiful in a sense. You're being brought to a place and you're getting taken care of just to be yourself. It's not the 100% message, but it's something like that. A lot of things I wrote from that day, and yeah, I was gonna actually read another one. Not as in like I was gonna read another one right now, but I was gonna read another one. I did not choose this one. I was gonna do one that I did like days later. I think literally the day after. No, 3 days later. 3 days later. I wrote the here, but I just feel called to leave it here, so I'm gonna leave it here. Um. So yeah, do you like poetry? Recommend me poetry books. I like them, and I like reading. I like overall a lot of things that I enjoy. Hope you've painted your nails with me if you felt called to and if you wanted. Again, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this video, if I'm gonna edit it or not. But that's for me to find out after I close the camera, not to share with you as of right now. Did you like my nails? They're gonna get more beautiful once they're dry and once I've washed my hands, so the painting then like the nail polish that did not go on the nail can go away. I was thinking of doing a clear glossy, but they're really glossy and they get chipped easier, and as God Junghan said, they're very, I don't know what he said, I don't remember, but there's like so anyways, hope you have a good day, and I'm sending you lots of love.